2, Celebrating the Courage to Evolve, Beyond Dark Shadows of Transhumanism and Evolutionary Spirituality.
I am Kristina Tahel. Here I recapitulate pivotal sections of first principles in direct quotes from Dr. Marc Gafni or Barbara Marx Hubbard, woven together from the prior week's One Mountain, Many Paths broadcast.
What Barbara Marx Hubbard and Dr. Marc Gafni have engaged in, and what really founded this One Mountain, Many Paths, and what we're all engaging together in a larger field is what we call not the joining of genes, but the joining of genius. This notion of joining genius is also called the future of relationships, from role mate to soulmate to wholemate. So wholemate is that next level, which is not joining genes, it's joining genius for the sake of the whole. That is a new level of relationship in response to a world that for the first time in human history is a world where we could have no future. The general response to that is to look away. We're standing in this moment, what Robert K. Lifton, the eminent scholar, calls facing apocalypse, meaning we refuse to turn away. We don't look away. We actually take into our very being the experience of there being no future, but not in a way which shatters us, but in a way which enlivens us and calls us to be the voice of the future in the now, to do everything in our power as evolution moves in us to actually change the vector of history. We change the vector of history by telling the new universe story. If you go into the civilization source code, you realize the source code itself is broken in certain key segments of the source code text. Here at One Mountain, we engage in evolutionary sense making, or what we also call source code conversations that leads to an evolution of the source code, not just conversations of the mind, but conversations of the body and conversations of the heart, or embodied conversations. We model what evolutionary conversations need to be like. An evolutionary conversation is not just egos jousting in the public sphere in order to score points for their separate selves. An evolutionary conversation is we want to impact each other. We want to transform together. Can you imagine if the pro-life and pro-choice people got together and had those kinds of conversations? Can you imagine if the best of the Republican Party in the United States got together with the best of the Democratic Party in the United States in order to synergize? We must know that we are each holding a piece of the puzzle. And that the puzzle only becomes whole when we love each other, when we become wholemates. An evolutionary conversation is when we're loving each other madly and we're holding together this passion for the truth, this passion for a deeper understanding, this passion for insight. It's the ability to hold the fullness of contradiction and not have it become a degenerative polarization, but actually a fructifying, synergistic emergence of a new wholeness, a new story, a new paradox, and to allow for evolution.